Well, thank you, Miriam. We'll leave you to it. Well, somebody we thought we were going to have to leave behind was pal Anders Oliversæter, the Norwegian, today on the liaison section before we actually got racing on those 257 kilometres of the special. A herd of goats went across the road and he got into them, went down sideways. They all ran off, you'd be pleased to know, and it was him that suffered, or at least his bike did. So they can't believe it. They just came out of nowhere across the road, and I tried to avoid them, just ended up sliding on the road, crashed, and I've got to wait here for my truck to fix the bike. Just hopefully I can get it all started and done before we get underway. Well, the man in green from Norway, I can tell you, did get underway today and finished in 6th place. So despite his trials and tribulations early on, he was all right. So once again, the riders all gathering together. Oliversæter just explaining the best way to avoid the wildlife, and everyone just checking his bike out just to make sure he's all right. He's a tremendously popular guy, is Oliversæter. We all like him, and hope he gets a full factory ride next time. Time for some pictures as well amongst the Portuguese. They perhaps thinking their glory was over. Not a bit of it. They had more success today. Other sculpted features of Mark Comer back and underway. He found this break, sort of thought, oh, I'll stick with him. And he was also with Helder Rodrigue. Well, he may well have stuck with him, but they both got lost. Yes, the bushes didn't help. And when riders get lost, they start riding all over the place, and you get crisscross tracks, and then the next lot arrive and they see tracks going in all different directions and they follow them. It's an absolute nightmare. One gets lost, everyone gets lost, or that's the way it seems. At the 82-kilometre mark, there were 11 riders wondering where on earth they were going next, and Comer was amongst them. Well, you know that he finished 16th on the day, Mark Comer. He's the rally leader. Should have asked a donkey. Some of them felt like donkeys at the end, I can tell you that much. 5 did indeed eventually break away, including the leaders. But they were all over the place, and even at this point when we caught up with them, they didn't know where to go. They often appeal to the helicopters just to point them in the right direction. We don't give anything away, you'll be glad to know. Oliversæter was in that bunch. He broke off with Esteban Pujol, who was looking handy, and both of them got handy results, leaving the leaders just to sort of wrestle amongst themselves. I think it was the fact that Comer just didn't want to leave his nearest rival, Desprez, out there, and thought, well, if he gets lost, I'll get lost, and we'll get lost together. And that's what happened. So it was all a bit of a nightmare. Everyone looking after everyone else, and nobody seemingly taking care of looking at the road book. So we were heading to the first refueling point, and it was a bit of a surprise order. The luckiest man of all of them was Esteban Pujol, who decided to let them do their own thing. He went his own way, rode by 13 riders who'd started in front of him, plus the rest who were lost. The locals weren't helping out either. They were standing by the tree just to get out of the way because everyone was just all over the place. What a day. So finally they get their books stamped. Desprez looking over his shoulder, wondering where Mark Comer is. Not too far behind is the answer to that. And at the first refueling, Esteban Pujol was the first man in and first man away, as you'd expect. Happy boy. A little bit of tape to hold seats and the rest of it down. It's all taken a pounding. And Mark Comer saying a difficult stage, lots of navigation. It's complicated. But now we ride as a group and we can enjoy it. Well, I'm glad he can smile. Lot to smile at today. The local population loved the Dakar, turning out en masse. En masse? Yes. Comer finally getting the get-go, away from the refueling. Esteban Pujol was the man who was going to take today's stage. Ending trouble earlier in the week, seemingly a thing of the past. Started 13th, went alone, trusted himself, trusted his own road book, and did the business today. Good lad. 6th overall, very little chance of improving on that position. But today he was enjoying himself and riding like we know he can. Free and easy on what was a very fast track today. Great to see a good rider riding well. Pau Conclabes is one of those. On board his Honda, finished second today, bringing a smile to Roger Harvey of Honda Europe's face, I am sure. 28th overall, 25th overall was his finishing position on his debut Dakar last year. Maybe he'll improve on that, we shall see. Great result for him, for the Portuguese, and a great result for Jacip Chakor. The Pole, number 16, finished in third place today. Another amazing result. They just keep on coming, don't they? Best result for him was 10th place in a stage in 2004. He's very skilled. He's a mechanic back home in Poland. And he's a bargain if you've got a dodgy bike and you happen to be in Poland, apparently. Locals waving us by. It does look a bit dry, doesn't it, out there, despite more vegetation. Tom Klaassen finished fourth today from South Africa. He, of course, a friend of the fallen Elmer Simmons, who sadly lost his life at the start of this Dakar. Tom Klaassen is a plumber. He's about 6'6". He weighs 100 kilos. Fabien Planet was chasing him down, couldn't catch him. He finished in fifth place, the Frenchman, Dakar Challenge winner. And Frans Verhoeven, the Dutchman. What a day he had, and it wasn't comfortable. Went down hard, the bike was airlifted out, using the helicam. Dislocated both shoulders, would you believe? And get this, he put one back in himself. If anyone out there has dislocated a shoulder, you know what it feels like. My old rugby days, this still brings a tear to the eye. Well, the second shoulder had to be put back in by medics. It causes all kinds of ligament damage. He's a brave boy.
I had a lot of dust, and I saw Marco was coming, so I had to play a little bit and try to get him in the dust. And I made some error, and the bike went up, and I fell with 120 kilometers per hour. And then the both shoulders luxation. I managed to get back the left one myself, but the right one I didn't manage. I had to stop.
Time to put it back in. One of the most painful things you can possibly do, let me tell you. So, confirmation of the results. Everyone more or less home safely. And Paul Broom, lead Brit, 75th. Malone, 107th today. Hughes, 128th. Overall, Mark Comer, massive lead over Cyril Desprez. Still over 50 minutes. And Esteve saying in the beginning there was a lot of dust. It was difficult navigation, hard to overtake. That was the main feature of today's race. And being out front, it's not easy. It's nice to be back on top. And Conclabes from Portugal saying suffered some problems during the rally. Finally today I had a trouble-free day, managed to finish in the top three. And earlier I was a little bit downcast in this rally, but now got some real results and my gander's up. And Jacip Chakor, the poll says, never forget this day, third place, fantastic result, but unfortunately it's just one stage. My teammate Marek Dubrovsky was fourth once, and it was nice to better that out there. If I hadn't stopped to help Verhoeven after his accident, well, maybe I could have got the stage win. But you did, and we love you for it, mate. Well done. And Cyril Desprez said after the control point, Comer passed me. He hesitated a bit because he was afraid that I was going to attack him. I think he means go faster. But you never know. It was okay. It was not such an important day, he says.